Stop everything you are doing and listen with the intensity of a man who has already decided he will no longer settle for a life of mediocrity. Before we begin, understand this contract. If you absorb these words not as mere information, but as a direct command to your soul, and if you return to this message daily until it becomes your automatic way of thinking, then I promise you, financial reality you currently inhabit will become an unrecognizable relic of your past, and when your new world manifests, it will not be a surprise, it will not be a miracle. It will simply be the inevitable result of the code you installed today. Wealth is not a game of chance. It is not a privilege for a chosen few. It is the direct physical consequence of a mind disciplined in purpose, forged in belief and absolute. In its decisions to begin this training, subscribe now. This is your first act of commitment. You look at your bank account, at the bills, at the world around you, and you feel a familiar sense of being trapped. It feels as if wealth is a fortress with walls too high to climb, a game with rules you were never taught. This feeling of being on the outside looking in, of being a spectator to the prosperity of others, is a lie. It's a carefully constructed prison, but the bars are made of nothing more than your own thoughts, and the key has been in your pocket all along. This is not a failure of character. It is a failure of programming. You are running an old, outdated software of scarcity that was installed in you by circumstance, by observation, by voices that told you wealth was for others. The truth is, wealth is never external. It is an internal state of being that must be built first, with absolute conviction, within the unshakable fortress of your own mind before it can ever manifest in the world.so. Right now, you will stop looking outside for permission or for opportunity. You will turn your attention inward to the only place where real control exists. Your mind is not a passive observer. It is the active workshop of creation. Every single dollar, every opportunity, every empire ever built first existed as a single, powerful thought. This is the first law, and from it all abundance flows. Today, you stop being a victim of your financial reality and become its architect. You understand that your primary work is not chasing money, but forging a mindset of wealth. This is where the war is won. You are not building a bank account. You are building an identity so aligned with prosperity that wealth has no choice but to answer its call, because it recognizes a mind in command, that constant nagging inner voice that questions your worth, that calculates your limitations, that replays your past failures. Do you recognize it? It's the voice of your current financial blueprint, and it is relentlessly building a reality of lack. You live in the house that your thoughts have built, and if the foundation is cracked with doubt and the walls are thin with fear, it will never hold the weight of true abundance. This is not just you being negative, this is a deeply ingrained pattern, a mental habit of focusing on what is missing instead of what is possible. It's a virus that convinces you that your current state is permanent, but a blueprint can be burned, a new one can be drafted. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are tools you use. Until now, you have allowed them to build a prison. Therefore, you will now seize control of these tools with the discipline of a master architect. You will consciously and deliberately choose the thoughts that serve your new destiny. You will no longer entertain a single thought of scarcity, a single image of failure, or a single feeling of lack without immediately challenging and replacing it. This is your new standard. This is non-negotiable. You begin this reprogramming by acting as if you are already wealthy, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of a man who knows his own power. Your thoughts, your words, your posture, they all align with the man who has already achieved what you seek. You are installing a new operating system, and it begins with the radical decision that from this moment forward, only thoughts of power, abundance, and success are granted access to your mind. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start when the economy gets better," or "I need someone to give me a chance"? Each of these statements is a surrender of power. It's an admission that you believe your destiny is in the hands of something or someone else. This belief, this deeply conditioned feeling of powerlessness, is the true enemy. It is the chain that keeps you anchored to mediocrity while you watch other ships sail for distant golden shores. This pattern is a lie you were taught to believe. It is the convenient excuse that absolves you of the terrifying responsibility of your own freedom. The truth is, the moment you accept, not just intellectually, but in the core of your being, that your mind is the sole origin of your reality, you reclaim your power. You stop being a ship at the mercy of the wind and become the wind itself. This is your declaration of sovereignty. Command it now. You no longer wait. You no longer ask for permission. The economy does not control you. Circumstances do not define you. Your past does not bind you. Your mind, and your mind alone, is the catalyst for the change you demand. Your ability to think, to direct your focus, to believe with stubborn conviction, that is the only asset that truly matters. From this day forward, you operate from a position of cause, not effect. You are the force that acts upon the world. The world does not simply act upon you. This is the great awakening of the will. It is the moment a man stops asking what if and starts declaring I will. This is the shift from hoping to commanding. Embrace this power. It has been waiting for you to claim it. Think of your mind as a broadcasting tower, sending a signal out into the universe 24 hours a day. What signal have you been broadcasting? One of fear, of doubt, of I can't. The universe, in its perfect and impersonal logic, simply matches that frequency and sends back experiences that validate your broadcast. You have been attracting exactly what you have been sending. It is an unbreakable law. The problem isn't the law. The problem has been your signal. You have been unconsciously planting seeds of lack in the most fertile soil that exists. Your subconscious mind. Your subconscious is the loyal servant that works tirelessly, day and night, to bring into reality the instructions you give it. It does not judge or question. It only creates based on the blueprints, the thoughts and feelings you provide. Now you will become a master broadcaster. Your new mission is to consciously charge every thought with the high-frequency energy of faith, passion, and absolute certainty. When you hold a clear vision of your wealth and you infuse it with the powerful emotion of already having it, you are planting a new seed. You are sending a new, powerful signal. The law cannot be broken. The universe must respond. What you hold in your mind consistently, you will eventually hold in your hand. This is not a metaphor. It is the physics of achievement. Treat your mind like the sacred ground it is. Stand guard at its gate. Allow only the thoughts, the feelings, and the visions of the reality you choose to command. Every thought of abundance you plant is a command to your subconscious to get to work, to attract the people, the ideas, and the opportunities that match. Your new frequency, the man of undisciplined thought, sees a goal and immediately rushes into frantic external action. He believes his effort, his hustle, his sweat is the primary cause of his success, and so he burns himself out, fighting against a world that seems to resist him at every turn because he has neglected the first and most critical battlefield, the one within his own mind. You will not make this mistake. You understand a truth that the majority will never grasp. External action taken from an internal state of doubt is sabotage. Action fueled by a mindset of scarcity will only create more scarcity. You must win the war internally before you can ever expect to see victory externally. Your primary work, therefore, is the relentless discipline and mastery of your inner world. Stop measuring your progress by the sweat on your brow and start measuring it by the quality of your focus. Are your thoughts aligned with your purpose? Have you eliminated the mental chatter of fear and replaced it with the quiet hum of certainty? This is the work that matters. Every moment spent in deliberate, disciplined thought is 1,000 times more productive than hours of frantic, unaligned action. Every action you take must now be an extension of a wealthy mindset. Before you make the call, you feel the success of the deal. Before you start the project, you see its triumphant completion. You are no longer a man who does things to get wealthy. You are a wealthy man who does things. It is a complete reversal of the common approach, and it is the secret to moving with power, grace, and unstoppable momentum. Belief is the concrete of the cosmos, the invisible substance from which all great achievements are poured. Before the skyscraper pierces the clouds, its foundation must be set deep in the earth. Belief is that foundation. Without it, the grandest plans are nothing but sketches in the sand, destined to be washed away by the first tide of adversity. Do not mistake belief for mere hope. Hope is a beggar. Belief is a commander. Hope says, I wish this would happen. Belief declares, it is already done. It is a state of absolute, unshakable inner certainty that transcends any and all external evidence. It is the courage to see your victory in the mind's eye so clearly and so consistently that the physical world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your inner vision. This is the power that separates the titan from the timid. Every man who achieved the impossible was first a man who believed in the face of ridicule. Thomas Edison believed in a world lit by electricity when everyone else was content with gas lamps. He held that belief through 10,000 failures because to him they were not failures. They were simply steps. His belief was the engine that powered his persistence. Your belief must become your engine. You build this foundation of belief, not by waiting for proof, but by commanding it into existence. You feed it daily with disciplined thoughts. You guard it fiercely from the poison of doubt, from the whispers of your own fear and the skepticism of others. You act, speak, and carry yourself not as one who hopes to succeed, but as one for whom success is the only possible outcome. This is how the foundation is set. Belief is not a static state you achieve once and for all. It is a living, breathing force that must be consciously chosen and defended every single day. The world will relentlessly test your conviction. Setbacks will arise designed to make you question your path. Your own mind, conditioned by old patterns, will tempt you with the familiar comfort of doubt. To achieve, you must become a warrior for your belief. Each morning upon waking, your first battle is won or lost. You must choose in that moment to align with faith, not fear. You must deliberately call to mind your grand purpose and reaffirm your absolute certainty in its achievement. You are not a victim of your fleeting feelings or moods. You are the commander of your focus. You decide what reality you will inhabit today. Doubt is a weed that grows in an idle mind. The man who achieves is not a man who never feels doubt. He is a man who refuses to give it shelter. He starves it by focusing on action. He uproots it by speaking his vision aloud. He replaces it by surrounding himself with evidence, however small, that he is on the right path. He understands that belief is a muscle that grows stronger only through consistent daily exercise. Let this be your ritual. When doubt whispers, you answer with action. When fear arises, you meet it with a renewed vision of your triumph. When the world shows you a reason to quit, you show the world 1,000 reasons why you will not. You are the sole arbiter of what you believe. Choose to believe in your inevitable success, and that choice, renewed daily, becomes an unstoppable creative force. Observe the flow of power and resources in the world, and you will see an undeniable law in action. Money, like a loyal soldier, serves a decisive mind. It is drawn to clarity, to confidence, to the unshakable certainty of a commander who knows his objective and will not be swayed. It flees from hesitation. It evaporates in the presence of doubt because confusion signals weakness, and money does not serve the weak. Indecision is the silent poison of potential. It is the rust that corrodes the machinery of ambition. The man who waits for all conditions to be perfect, for all risks to be eliminated, for universal approval before making a move, will wait forever in the barren wasteland of mediocrity. He fails to understand that the power is not in the perfect, Plan, but in the perfect commitment to a plan, the moment you make a clear, firm, irrevocable decision, you send a shockwave through the universe. You are broadcasting on a new frequency, a frequency of command. That signal aligns forces, both seen and unseen, to your cause. Opportunities that were invisible now appear. People with the resources you need are drawn into your orbit. A decisive mind is a magnetic mind. This is why you must train yourself in the art of decision. Start with the small things. Make your choices quickly and firmly. Stop lingering in the limbo of maybe. The more you exercise the muscle of decision in your daily life, the stronger it will become for the great choices that will define your destiny. You are forging the identity of a leader, and a leader is, above all, a man of decision. Many believe that they must first have a guarantee of success before they can make a bold decision. This is the great inversion of truth that keeps the masses trapped. The guarantee does not precede the decision. It is created by the decision. Your absolute, unshakable commitment is the very force that guarantees your success, for it commands you to act, adapt, and persist until the goal is won. A mind that is truly decided does not wait for the path to be cleared. It moves with the certainty that its own forward momentum will clear the path. It understands that action is the great clarifier of vision and the destroyer of fear. While the hesitant man is paralyzed by analyzing every possible outcome, the decisive man is already in motion, creating his own outcomes. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They will never arrive. The stars will never perfectly align. There will always be a reason to delay, a potential obstacle, a lingering doubt. Your power lies in your ability to act in spite of these things. Plant your flag, declare your intention, and move. The universe rewards bold, swift action born from a mind that has burned all bridges to retreat. This is the shift from a life of chance to a life of command. It is the conscious choice to be the creator of your circumstances, not their victim. Make your decision now with the finality of a king signing a decree. Let that decision inform your every thought, your every word, your every action. Then watch as the world, which always makes way for a man who knows where he is going, steps aside. Your imagination is the most powerful workshop you will ever own. It is the sacred space where the blueprints of your future are drafted and revised. Before a single brick is laid in the physical world, to think casually of wealth is to build nothing. To truly create it, you must first see it, feel it, and live it with such vivid intensity within this workshop that it becomes more real than your present circumstances. Visualization is not childish daydreaming. It is the focused, disciplined act of mental creation. It is the language your subconscious mind understands best. When you close your eyes and construct a detailed, living image of the life you command, you are giving your subconscious a direct order. You are providing the architectural plans for the reality you wish it to build, but a blueprint alone is not enough. It is a cold, lifeless document until it is infused with the fire of emotion. This is the secret. You must not only see your success, you must feel it in every fiber of your being. Feel the pride of accomplishment. Feel the gratitude for the abundance that is yours. Feel the freedom, the power, the joy. Emotion is the electrical current that charges your vision and makes it magnetic. A clear mental image combined with powerful positive emotion creates an irresistible force. It is the prayer that is always answered. You are aligning your entire energetic being with your desired outcome, training your mind and body to accept this new reality as truth. This is not deception. It is creation. It is the process of building from the inside out. Why is this practice of visualizing with feeling so powerful? Because your subconscious mind, the silent, tireless engine of your life, cannot distinguish between a real experience and one that is vividly and repeatedly imagined. It operates on the images and feelings you feed it. Feed it images of lack and fear, and it will faithfully create a life of lack and fear. Feed it a steady diet of success. and it will work just as faithfully to manifest success. This is the most direct form of reprogramming there is. Each time you engage in this disciplined practice, you are overwriting old limiting code. You are replacing the identity of the man who struggles with the identity of the man who commands. You are training your nervous system to accept wealth and success as your natural default state. When you consistently see yourself as competent, powerful, and successful, you begin to act in alignment with that vision unconsciously. Your habits shift, your posture changes, the words you choose gain a new weight of authority. You are no longer trying to be successful. You are simply being the successful man you have already become in your mind. This must become a daily discipline, as vital as the air you breathe. It is the internal work that makes all external work effective. Do not neglect it. In the quiet moments of your day, build your empire within your mind. See it, feel it, walk through its halls. Let the feeling of its reality saturate your soul. This is the true work of the masters of destiny. You must understand this with absolute clarity. Failure is not an event. It is not a person. It is not a final destination. Failure is nothing more than an idea, an opinion that you have the absolute power to accept or reject. The world may label a setback a failure, but it only becomes your reality when you give your consent. It has no power over you unless you grant it power. The path of every great achiever is littered with what the masses would call failures. They are not failures. They are data points, they are lessons, they are tuition paid in the school of mastery, they are the fire that forges the steel of your resolve. The only true failure lies in accepting a temporary defeat as a permanent condition. The only true loss is in quitting. When you face an obstacle, a delay, a result you did not want, you have a choice. You can internalize the world's label of failure, which leads to shame, doubt, and paralysis, or you can look that event squarely in the eye and declare, this is not the end, this is a redirection, this is a lesson, I will learn from this, and I will come back stronger. This choice determines everything. From this moment on, you will banish the word failure from your mental vocabulary, replace it with feedback, lesson, stepping stone. When you do this, you strip adversity of its emotional poison. An obstacle is no longer a judgment on your worth. It is simply a problem to be solved, a wall to be climbed, a river to be crossed. You become a strategist, not a victim. The world you see is but a mirror of the world within you. The battles you face externally for resources, for position, for recognition are all secondary fronts. The primary war, the one that determines the outcome of all others, is waged on the silent, invisible battlefield of your own mind. It is here, in the space between your thoughts, that victory is forged or defeat is conceded. Every day you are presented with two opposing forces. One is the voice of doubt, fear, and limitation, the echo of past programming and external negativity. The other is the voice of faith, purpose, and infinite potential, the true essence of who you are. The discipline of your life is to consciously and relentlessly choose which voice you will heed, which army you will command. If you allow the belief in failure to establish a beachhead in your mind, it will spread like a cancer, coloring every perception and poisoning every action with hesitation. But if you make your mind a fortress for faith, if you stand as a vigilant guard at its gates and refuse entry to any thought of defeat, you become unconquerable. You move through life with a power that external circumstances cannot touch. This is the ultimate form of self-mastery. It is the realization that while you may not control the weather or the actions of others, you have absolute sovereignty over your own mental response. Challenges will come, but they will find you prepared, focused, and armed with the unwavering certainty of your triumph. You have already won the war in your mind. The physical manifestation is now merely a matter of time. An undisciplined mind is a chaotic workshop littered with the scraps of fear, the dust of doubt, and the broken tools of past regrets. It builds nothing of substance, nothing of lasting value. It is a slave to impulse and a victim of circumstance. A disciplined mind, however, is a master architect studio. It is clean, it is focused, and every thought is a deliberate line drawn. On the blueprint of a grand destiny, mastery of your life does not begin with mastering your schedule, your finances, or your relationships. It begins with the fundamental, non-negotiable mastery of your thoughts. For your thoughts are the silent commands that shape your feelings dictate your actions, and your actions create your results. The entire chain of causation begins with the quality of your thinking. Discipline is not punishment. It is the ultimate freedom. It is the power to consciously choose your focus, rather than letting your focus be chosen for you by the random noise of the world. It is the strength to hold the vision of your success in your mind, even when your current reality offers no proof. It is the will to starve your fears and feed your faith moment by moment. This requires daily vigilance. It is a practice, a training, a sacred ritual. You must become the watchman of your mind. When a thought of limitation arises, you do not fight it. You simply observe it and replace it with a thought of power. When a feeling of doubt emerges, you do not surrender to it. You pivot your focus to the feeling of certainty. You are the director of your internal theater. Success is not a lottery ticket you might stumble upon. It is a fortress you build, stone by deliberate stone. It does not respond to wishes. It responds to orders. The most fundamental order you can give is the clear, conscious, and irrevocable choice to succeed. This is the act that separates the dreamer from the creator. It is the moment you stop asking for success and start demanding it from yourself. Most people live lives of quiet negotiation. They negotiate with their fears, their doubts, and their comfort zones. They say, "I will try," which is a pre-packaged excuse for failure. The man who achieves does not try. He decides. He makes a commitment so total, so burned into the fabric of his soul, that retreat is not an option. He has made success his only path. This choice is your new foundation. It must be made not with hope, but with the cold, hard certainty of a general planning a battle he knows he will win. The world will test this choice. It will throw obstacles in your path to see if your declaration was genuine. Every challenge you overcome, every time you refuse to quit, you are not just moving closer to your goal, you are proving the strength of your choice. Let this decision echo in every action you take. You no longer operate from a place of maybe, you operate from a place of it is done. This certainty is a palpable force. It changes the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. People feel it. The universe responds to it. The choice to succeed is not the first step on the path. It is the path itself. So here you stand at the threshold of a new reality, armed with the undeniable truth that the universe you experience is a direct reflection of the commands you give your mind. The secrets are no longer secrets. They are tools in your hands. The question is no longer if you can build a life of wealth and power, but if you will. The blueprints for your empire are not to be found in the world, but in the disciplined architecture of your own thought. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, does not end with watching this video. In fact, it has just begun. This is not entertainment. This is your new training manual. Your assignment is to make this message a part of your very being. Therefore, your training begins tomorrow morning. When you wake, before you check your phone, before the world has a chance to infect your mind with its noise, you will return to this message. You will listen to these codes until they are no longer just words you hear, but the very voice of your own inner commander. This is your daily ritual. This is how you forge an unbreakable mind. This channel is our training ground. Subscribing is your public commitment to this path. It is your declaration that you are no longer a passive observer, but an active warrior in the construction of your own destiny. Hit subscribe and join the ranks. A mind in command speaks its reality into existence. Go to the comments and declare your new identity. right? I am the architect. This is more than a comment. It is your contract with yourself. It is the first brick in your new foundation. The truest sign of a leader is his willingness to strengthen the men around him. Identify one man in your life who is fighting a silent battle, who needs to hear this code. Share this video with him. Don't just send the link. Tell him, this is the training I told you about. It's time to build. Your victory is multiplied when you bring your brothers with you. Now go execute.